as you'll see if you read this whole thing, and the reflection of the whole year is that I do have great hope for cinema as it is. But the thing is, it's all entirely up to us. So, like I said, do your penance and go see The Fast Runner. All of you who went to see Spider-Man, okay? Promise? Promise?
Promise.
Go to, I wrote down a couple, just while I was here, I found all these wonderful alternatives. The UW Cinematheque, you know where that is, over in Vilas Hall? Mm-hmm. It's got a wonderful lineup. It's just a wonderful lineup. They've got a whole series of Agnes Varda films. Agnes is one of my favorites from the French New Wave. I know it sounds pretentious, but these are damn good films. At least a couple of times a year, people, go see a foreign language film, go see a documentary, go out to a park and see a film in the park, you know, go to a drive-in with everybody and have a picnic. Just seek a little alternative. What happened to me, and what I think would happen to you, is that you'll expand your palette for what there is out there, and you'll find these wondrous things that you never even knew existed. And then when you go back to the multiplex, you'll be a more enlightened and intelligent film goer, and that has to have an impact on all the crap that we see. So I am willing to take any and all of your questions, at least for about 5-10 minutes here. So if anybody has a question before I go back and sign, thank you very much for coming. This is delightful to see such a packed house here, and I really hope you enjoy the book. Any questions here? Raise your hands. In the front row, please.
Have you ever met Jodan Baker?
You know how many times I've gotten this question? Have I ever met Jodan Baker? Okay. For those of you who don't know, we made fun of 2 Jodan Baker films, in particular a film called Mitchell, which was a sort of TV movie in which he simply burps and farts and tries to get his way through the film. And we heard through the grapevine that Jodan Baker had witnessed what we had done to him, and he had said that he wanted to, quote, kick our ass. Well, the thing is, I know even a guy my size could duck from Jodan, and his punch would miss me, and he'd spill his drink all over his arm candy, and then it'd be all over. So I haven't, and I'm glad I haven't.
If the good independent films seem to be out there and not found, is maybe a better way to try to sneak a great film into the mainstream? Was there any movies that were supposed to be mainstream, but you felt they were independent?
Well, you know, I mean, there are films right now like Barbershop and My Big Fat Greek Wedding, which I'm really glad to see are top-grossing films, because, you know, these are films that are done in the old-fashioned way, you know, when movie distributors used to have guts and they let a film roll out slowly. Oh, so here's a tip for you, and this is how this happens. If you want to see really good films in the multiplexes, stop going to opening weekend, people. This is why it happens. Everybody rots off to opening weekend. Spider-Man makes $100 jillion. And that's what we end up with. More Spider-Man. They want more Spider-Man. They all went to an opening weekend to see Spider-Man. So we're going to keep on getting Spider-Man. So if you want that to happen, first thing I would do, which I practice now, is I either go to the second-run houses, and I just am patient, or I wait a couple of weekends. What this will do is, I mean, if this really happened, and it never will, you know, it would change the marketing pattern. And people would say, gee, they don't like our big blockbusters. They're not going to XXX. And things would have to change. Things would have to change. And like I said, you know, it's a supply and demand thing. And if the demand changes, if people raise their standards even an inch, then yeah, there are going to be alternatives. I'm happy to see in some multiplexes that now, you can, in a multiplex near my house, there's at least one foreign film, and there is at least one independent, I mean true independent. And what I'd love is, there's a theater, 25 screens in my town. If they made one into a rep house, that would be really cool. I think that would be